Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the second session of day three of the eFrames 2020. We had sports to start with, and now we have India's favorite pastime, which is movies and everything else that connected to it. But now, in a post-COVID world, changing theatrical windows, direct to OTT. To tell us more and to introduce the panel, I would like to call onto the platform Mr. Taran Adarsh, journalist and film trade analyst. Mr. Taran, the stage is all yours.
Good afternoon. Thank you so much. Good afternoon, everyone. I mean, as you all know by now, the times have changed. The world has changed post-COVID-19. And earlier, I mean, when we used to talk about movies, we used to talk about movies going out to theaters, watching a film with our family, with our friends. It was a group gathering. Unfortunately, everything has come to a halt right now. Post-April onwards, or in fact, from the last week of March onwards, Angrezi Medium was the last Hindi film that actually hit the theaters. Post that, there's not been a single release to date. The theaters are shut. Everything has come to a standstill. So is OTT the new norm? I mean, that's what everyone is talking about within and outside the film industry. People are talking about if this continues for a longer time, will more and more films come or premiere on the OTT platforms, on the digital platforms? We have a very distinguished, a very esteemed panel today to discuss about is OTT the new normal. Mr. Shujit Sarkar, who's just had a release, a premiere, his latest film, Gulabo Sitabo, had just premiered on Amazon. Mr. Madhur Bhandarkar, a national award-winning director, who's seen a lot of ups and downs the industry has faced over the years. Mr. Ram Madhwani, a very hugely respected name in advertising circles, and who made a film, Neerja, which was a huge success, and of course has now made a series with Sushmita Sen and Chandrachud Singh called Arya. Mr. Vikram Malhotra, earlier head of the motion picture business at Balaji Telefilms, subsequently was the CEO of Viacom 18 Motion Pictures, and now the founder of Abundancia Entertainment. Besides producing films, Vikram has forayed into the digital medium as well with Breathe. Ms. Saugata Mukherjee, head of original content, Sony Live, who was earlier with Hotstar. And Mr. Carter Pilcher, Chief Executive Officer, Shots TV UK. Thank you all for joining us today for this very informative, I hope very informative discussion that we're going to have on OTT and movies. The first question is obviously directed towards Mr. Shujit Sarkar and Shujita and Vikramji. Gulabo Sitabo had just premiered some time back on Amazon, while Vikram Malhotra's film Shakuntala Devi is going to premiere on the 31st of July 2020, again on Amazon. You know, the first question is, what actually prompted you, Shujita, as well as Vikramji, to opt for the digital medium? Shujita?
Yeah, thank you, Taran. Thank you, everyone. Greetings. Well, I think the reasons are quite obvious. Normally, a FICCI would happen in a five-star hotel. But I think we are on a digital medium now, talking to each other, sitting at our home. Yes. So I think this is quite an evident reason why we are here today. So I think when I started making Gulabo Sitabo, of course, it was a theatrical film. I shot the film, conceived the film like a theatrical release. Me as a filmmaker can't even think of making a film without thinking of a theater. So I think it was all set. It was all set to get, and the big event was set for January, and then the big event was set for release on 17th April. But I think we all know what happened, so unfortunately. So I think that's when my radars all were active, that what should I do? Should I hold on to the film? Should I sit with it? My personal earlier past has not been very good. A couple of my films has been, and I could not release. So I was little impatient about it. And I thought, and also when I spoke to a lot of my medical friends, they told me that, this is not going to go soon. Because people were thinking that, May first week, everything lockdown will open and we will all be out. But it didn't happen. Then people thought June first week, everything will happen. It didn't happen. Now we are in July first week, and I don't see for the next another few months, theaters are opening. So, and I was really impatient, and I thought, can I think of this digital release and experiment with it? And frankly speaking, I experimented with it. To give you a theatrical release, an experience, I consider it more as an event also. It's like a big event where the film releases and you enjoy with a group of people in a closed and a dark environment. And of course, in a digital medium, when you're sitting at home, I expected that kind of an event. And I'm thankful that Amazon treated Gulabo Sitabo as a big event. Normally, it doesn't happen. It just gets released. But so far, I am quite happy the way Gulabo Sitabo has fared in the digital medium and the reactions that I have got. So it was quite a deliberate and attempt and an experiment. And I'm still understanding this experiment. It's just been 4 weeks that film is released. So I'll still breathing it, and let's see in future what else I'm going to decide and what else I'm going to experiment with.
Yes, Vikramji, what do you feel about this move of Shakuntala Devi coming straight on OTT?
Shakuntala Devi was conceived, written, filmed, and in post-production as a theatrical film. We had even announced the release date of the 8th of May in the public domain. But for me, the team that was involved, the decision was really very simple, because this shift or skip of theatrical window and going straight to digital is actually a win-win for where we are looking at it. Many people discuss and debate this as an alternative. Just like how you yourself introduced us in this panel, in today's world, since the middle of March to now and going ahead, it's not an alternative. We didn't have the choice. There were no theaters for me to take the film to. Plus, it gives it a strong, it's not a compromised release. On the contrary, for a Hindi film which would have traveled to 10, 12, on the higher side, 20 international markets,
yes,
this film will now release in 200 countries. Shujit's film released in those many countries and territories worldwide. It gets treated with the same respect as a theatrical release. And most importantly, there are two considerations which we kept in mind. And my director, Anu Menon, my lead talent in the form of Vidya Balan and Sanya Malhotra, unequivocally supported this. One, principally, we are going to where our customers are, where our audience is. Taking the film to the fans of the personality on whom it is based, the consumers of Hindi film content, not just India but worldwide, the fans of our stars. We are allowing them an opportunity to engage with fresh content even in a period where nothing else in that number is coming their way. And second, I'm also going to be upfront.
Right? The rest of the decision didn't matter. Yes, of course, we have Mr. Amitabh Bachchan, who has 51 years in the industry. His blessings was the most important, because I think he has seen everything, and never his film has released on a digital platform. That's what I know.
Absolutely.
And whatever I told you, I exactly put forth my point of view to him. And I think he was absolutely ready to go with it. With Ayushmann, I had a little time to make him understand why I have taken this decision. And I think it took a little time of understanding why, because let me tell you, basically, I can say that I took the bullet first. So it's like I bit the bullet first. So let me be very clear about this fact. And I think there were a lot of unhappy, reactions from a lot of people.
Absolutely, yes.
But behind me, what happened, I don't think the reactions are coming anymore. So you can say I took the bullet first. So that's okay, that's fine. And that's what I told Ayushmann exactly, that, there will be, even if you come after some film, finally for the next 5, 6, 7 months, this is going to be the release platform. till the time we are absolutely fearless to go to the theaters. So that's where the decision. And then I think Ayushmann also agreed. And then we spoke to all my departments. The biggest one to consider was not my actors, it was my cinematographer. So that was the biggest challenge I had. Because the cinematographer, when he shoots the film, I think, and also a director, there is a creative constraint that, it was made for cinematic. So it takes it's a difficult challenge for a creative people to take this call. But then me and my cinematographer, we sat and we thought, this is the way forward. This is the way to adapt to the situation. And that's what we did.
Right. And Vikramji, how did Vidya react to it?
I think if the decision is in
अपनी फिल्म शुरू की थी शुजिता और आपने और विक्रम जी ने ऑफ कोर्स जब आपने सोचा था कि आप इसे सिनेमा घर में लगाएंगे थिएटर्स में लगाएंगे यू रिलीज इट इन थिएटर्स इट डिड नॉट रिलीज इन थिएटर्स don't you think you lost out on a substantial chunk of revenue by bypassing the theatrical release, not just in India but overseas as well? You lost out on that revenue which you would have got otherwise also had you waited for a few more months when the theaters would have reopened. You would have then released in theaters, then satellite, and then digital. Shujita?
Taran, let me tell you, the traffic jam is going to create. That's what I exactly thought. And let me tell you, I have been treated mercilessly also by theaters in dropping my film shows without any consideration that what I treat and think about my film.
Really?
So, yeah, sometimes, a lot, many times that I would want my theater film to stay. I would want my film to stay at the theater. So I thought there going to be a lot of bottleneck jam also.
Okay.
It's not that there won't be any jam. There will be a huge jam, sir. And like I think Vikram said, where my film is going to be placed when I release, will it come with the 5 films together? Will I get a clean date? And there is a novelty to a film. There is a freshness. There is a shelf life to a film. How long can I keep that film active with you? Sometimes, you consider that also. And surely I considered it also. Right. Well, here we are not creating a blame game or something. Let me tell you. Theater we know that we're going to coexist with the digital platform. There is no question about it.
Right.
And let me tell you, even the theater and we filmmakers are a family. We are a family. If theater has a problem that, why I am releasing a theater, it's a simple, you call me and discuss with me. I'll tell you my problem to you, you tell me your problem. If I make a film, you release. If you release, then only I make a film. It's a very family. We are together. We are not that you are separate and I am separate.
But the exhibitors are very upset with your decision.
Absolutely. They were upset. But I'm saying, come on, talk to it. See what Vikram said. The people, I make one film at a time. Taran, I have been holding. And if I was holding my film till August, I would have been in minus.
Okay.
Now I would have been in minus for sure.
Okay.
So now tell me, with a film like this, with a film like and especially the kind of film I make, which does not release in huge theaters. It's a very limited release, which are the films I make. Even if it has got Ayushmann or Mr. Amitabh Bachchan, I have got a very, what do you call, a secluded, audience that, I have and I can trust upon. So I would have been in a minus. So if you're saying that, yes, I made the film for theatrical release. Yes, I should have released on 17th of April, but I could not, Taran. Now, where should I go? What should I do? There is a fear also as a director that what happens if my films don't get it released and suppose it's a bottleneck jam and it just released for 1 week and I'm out. I'm back to theatrical, back to digital medium.
Which is what happened, which actually, sorry to interrupt you, which is what happened with Angrezi medium. It had a run of almost 3 or 4 days and then it was discontinued from theaters. because there was a complete lockdown.
Yes. Yes. So see, all this ran into our head, and that's why we took the decision. It's not going to be a new normal for me. Let me tell you, it was a situation that adaptability. So when I released Udham, for example, the Udham went on. I could not get my November date, October date. I pushed it to January, and now I don't think I will be able to maintain the January schedule. I don't think so. It will push further. Where I don't know yet. So I think all that is a factor. So what I'm saying with the theater owners, I think the decision is a very coordinated decision should be, and we spoke to them. We told them the problems. And most importantly, let me tell you, I am not a filmmaker who makes multiple films like big studios. I make one film at a time.
Yes.
I put it on the market. I let it consume. Whatever it comes back, I put it in my next film.
Yes.
So it's one film at a time. So I could not hold.
Right.
If I had 20 films, I could have said, okay, fine, let me wait. I have got a bouquet of 20. I don't need to worry.
Right.
So one film or the other film will compensate on the next film.
Right.
So these are my thoughts which ran, in my head.
What about you, Vikramji? How difficult was the decision, because you were bypassing the theatrical window completely, going straight to digital?
If I can just say, I'm in.
Yes.
Sorry, Taran, I was just going to say, one of the great things about Shujit's film is I saw it here in the UK, and lots of people here in the UK have seen his film on Amazon, which is kind of amazing. We saw it almost the same time that it released. I think maybe 4 days later or something. And I don't think that's ever been possible. So as a guy who's outside of India, the digital release is really fabulous for us.
And that's to my point that I mentioned earlier about, taking our product, our content, our labor of love to where the customer is. And from a commercial standpoint, your question of first, the way I look at it, we didn't skip theatrical window. There was no theatrical window when our film is releasing, right? So we're not technically skipping anything. I don't look at it as either or. I don't look at it as a situation where theaters will perish or OTT will perish or one will succeed at the cost of the other. I just feel that this is a tactical decision that some of us have taken till the point in time normalcy returns.
Okay.
We'll continue to make films for theaters, which will be spectacles, community outings. It runs in the lifeblood of our nation. So that's not going away anywhere. We will also make films which will be straight to digital, straight to people's homes. We will continue to make series which will engage people in a longer time frame. I mean, what better example than Ram here, who's made such wonderful and successful feature films theatrically and has now made an amazing show over a long form format. So for us, revenue was a tactical consideration on this. I don't think Abundancia's considering this as a better form of monetization for a feature film versus the other conventional forms. For us, sure, what you give up is the possibility of a theatrical upside, overflow as we call it.
Yes.
You give up that possibility. But in return, what you also get is a certain surety, which to Shujit's point in this current environment could have been questionable. So I think that's the tactical trade-off that we've taken in this particular case. And like I said, it's selfish to consider this only for the producer or the director or the actor. There's an entire value chain that forms part of the film. So for us, the decision also had a larger commercial consideration.
Right. So what about your forthcoming films which are also complete? I mean, in your case, a film with Bhumi Pednekar, and Shujita, your film with Vicky Kaushal. Both are complete, right? Now, will that release in theaters? Will you wait for the theaters to reopen, or will you again go directly to the digital media?
Taran, Udham Singh is the work, post-production work got halted because of the lockdown.
Right.
It has again restarted now, and it will take me 6, and the work is quite slow because nothing we can't do in a full force. We are unable to do
Right.
because it's a period film. It's got a huge post-production. So
Right.
I don't think I'll be ready by January 2021. That's when
Okay.
it's scheduled for theatrical release. But I don't think I'll be ready. But my target is January 2021 for a theatrical release.
Okay, for a theatrical release.
Yes.
This question is similar to when will we have the COVID-19 vaccine, right?
Yeah.
I wish I had a crystal ball with which I could look into this and say, is Durgavati going to go to theaters or is Durgavati going to go straight to a platform? I mean, obviously these films are made for theatrical releases. It's a scary thriller. It has, like Shujit is saying, these films carry a certain appeal irrespective of the platform they're on.
Yes.
But we are still evaluating that because work is going on right now.
Yes. A few days ago, Disney Hotstar announced 7 films that would be premiered on their digital platform. Now, what was interesting was the fact that Akshay Kumar, Ajay Devgan, Varun Dhawan, Abhishek Bachchan and Alia Bhatt made those announcements. Madhur, I want to know from you as well as from Mr. Saugata Mukherjee, what does this move signify? Does it mean that this is just a phase? Or do you think that perhaps it's dark times for the theatrical business in India?
Well, Taran, you have to look into larger perspective. I feel that what Sujit Da said, Vikram said is very pragmatic, very practical. Instead, your film will be lying in a limbo situation where you don't know what is going to be the outcome. And the pandemic is not only in India, it's global. Okay. So theaters are shut globally. And then again, the investment, the kind of investment is there. I know there are so many friends of mine who made movies and their interest rates are going from the bank or private funders and all. So it's basically a very bad situation. And in today's time, like, we don't know how long it's going to prolong, how long this lockdown is going to be there, how long the theaters, when they open, people will come on, or the fear psychosis will be there. So what today is there, like movies are getting released on OTT platform, it is the need of the hour. And it is not only in India, but globally, people are trying to reach out to the OTT platform because obviously the money is there. People want to see new stuff on the sitting at home in lockdown. And I think this is definitely a phase. I know there will be a time will come. I know, like, vaccine comes tomorrow. I'm just after 1 year, or people are taking 15 months or 18 months. I don't know. But whenever it comes, the theater will be there. There is a magic of theater will be there. I'm just saying there are certain films I want to see in the theater. I'm telling you, I've seen this phases from so many years. I'm seeing.
Yes.
Myself, you know, video cassette library boy. I know from 80s, 90s when the video cassettes came, the people said that theater khatam ho gaya, koi aane wala nahi hai, and people still went to the theater. Then I remember the cable time came. When the cable came, people used to release the movie on Friday night. They should show on cable. And that time I remember the people, again, there was a decline and people are not in the theater. So I think these are the phases which come, and definitely this pandemic has hit not only in India, globally. So
Yes.
there is definitely a pause, and there is going to be indefinite pause. Still, we don't know when the vaccine comes, massive vaccine comes, and in a mass level, where uniformly it's going to be given to everybody and people feel, okay, the fear is there. Like today, people I know, my friends, people say, we don't want to go in the theater, check karke jao, ye karke jao. They said, humko platform mein dekhni. See, we coexist from so many years. Before this lockdown, if you see March, before that, OTT platform and film and theater were doing so well at the box office.
Yes.
Also, the same time theater, and the OTT platform also. People were enjoying both the things. So many new content, a different kind of a subject, different kind of idea. So I think this is what obviously Vikramji and Sujita told. It's the need of the hour. At this juncture, we have to be more practical, more pragmatic, and see the larger perspective. That right now, jo ready hai movie, we have to release on this OTT platform. And obviously, a filmmaker also feel it becomes stale. Bahut time ho gaya, 1 saal ho gaya. 2 saal ho gaya, you still holding on. The holding power hona chahiye. Just Sujit said right. If he's making a big production, he's here 20 films, he can still hold the film. But if he's making one film at a time and you feel that yaar, product aana chahiye, because we are ultimately filmmakers or film lovers, we are very passionate about our films to reach to the audience. Obviously, no one makes the movie to the OTT platform. They want to reach to the larger audience. We love the magic of sitting in the theater, watching the movie in the dark hall, with people around us, having popcorn, friends, people. Obviously, that charm is gone right now. I don't know when it will come. I hope it comes very soon and we restore the magic of cinema.
Yes. Saugataji, what would you like to add to that? Especially when these actors actually came on the platform and announced those films. Does it really send out a signal to the film industry? Because the film industry, as of now, is clearly divided.
So Taran, these are unreal times. These are times that no one really planned for, right? And what has happened is what Shujit and Vikram was mentioning, that these are some pragmatic decisions people have had to take. Theatre is not going away anywhere. But let's look at the positive side, that at least you have the OTT platforms today to take on the onus of getting your film across to your audience. Should it have happened a few years earlier, it would have been very, very difficult. But the fact remains that, it's a value chain. People need to be fed, people need to be paid, people's, rents need to be paid. All of that is there. And I think the producers it will be difficult after a point to hold on to a product, a film for too long, because after a point there are only 52 weeks, and we are making several films, and there is a good part of the year gone. People will be scurrying to release them on theaters, and that window, which is already very short, of your success in a theater is becoming even shorter. Now, about the actors, I'm sure they are a party to the fact that, yes, we know these are unreal times, these are unprecedented times. We need to solve for now. I'm sure theaters are not going anywhere. But what I think is that there is a possibility of a certain kind of films which will probably find a first window at OTT rather than the theaters, which I feel is a good thing. I think there's a coexistence of different forms of distribution, right? At the end of the day, a filmmaker, an actor, a cinematographer, an artist would want their art to reach the end customer, whether it reaches through the theaters or it reaches through the OTT platforms. I think both are good. I feel that, this we should look at this as an exception, but there are some habits which are being built, yes.
Right. But do you foresee this as a trend happening even when cinemas reopen? This question is for everyone there in the group.
Well, I feel that, Taran, it will happen, but will it happen in this kind of, these are times when probably the numbers are bigger, but I guess as we see globally, there are big films which are being launched on the platform directly. There is no reason why that should not happen. But then there will be the spectacles, there will be the spectacular films which do need a theater. They will still find them. But as a trend, maybe yes, maybe there is a little 2 steps ahead.
Taran, in early 2000. I'll just give you a small incident. I was in Delhi, and the first time in Delhi in Saket, in Anupam Theatre, the first multiplex came up.
Right.
First multiplex in Saket came up. I don't know, are you aware of that? That was the first. And I remember there was a lot of resentment from all over the India regarding why Anupam Theatre was broken and built into a multiplex. There was a huge hue and cry, and there was a lot of objections. But you see now, single theatre and the multiplex, somewhere I think they are coexisting.
Yes, yes, absolutely.
If I could... sorry.
Yeah, so they are coexisting. So it is not going to be as what you see a normal, because you must understand that apart from everything else, it's a creative process. Cinema, the meaning of cinema is sit on a group of people watching a film on a dark room or a dark theater, and it's a 2 hours experience. It's not like a book that you read 10 pages, you fold it and keep it. It's a one go 2 hours of experience. So this experience, cinema was made for that. So it will never will go away.
Right.
And it's not gone. Let me tell you, now there are very good home theater systems which are exactly like a small multiplex hall. A lot of people have with Atmos and Dolby 5.1. The experience is huge, beautiful.
I'm sitting in my home.
Yes, Madhur has one at his home actually. Yes.
So
I'm sitting in my home theater only.
So yes. Technologically, let me tell you where I'm coming to. Technologically also, we are slowly growing in terms of our television screens, our projection system on the television screen, our home theater system. So experience is coming closer. For example, I will tell you one more example. When the first digital camera came in my film, there was a lot of argument going between the film rolls that we developed versus the digital.
I know.
But you see now, yes, there were objections, and there are still problems going on. There are a lot of people who don't want to shoot in digital medium. That's fine. And there are a lot of people who wants to shoot in digital medium. Now, they are coexisting. And somehow digital medium, in terms of camera, has their, technologically, they have now come to a point where they are almost close to film camera. The grains, the colors, they are the depth of field, the lenses, they are almost same. Cinematographers all over the world are now comparing the cameras, which doesn't have much difference. So we have achieved this. So it's, and we will coexist with all, whatever be the experience that we're talking about. So the magic of cinema experience will never go away.
Yeah. Yes, I agree. I am on the same page as you. You know, Ram, you had made Neerja earlier, and now you've just made Arya, Sushmita and Chandrachur, which is winning huge, tremendous critical acclaim. Tell me, why this switch? Or what was the reason behind, you know, wanting to narrate the story, but releasing it on the digital medium?
Well, first, just to say thank you, Taran, and thank you everybody for having me here. It's to just hear everybody speak so passionately and so honestly about what they have been through. Yes. I haven't been through what they have been through, and certainly with Shoojit and with Vikram, to tell us what their honest feeling is about why they've had to make those choices. Certainly I'm learning a lot just by sitting here and listening to the passion and the honesty of the problem, because this is something which we all preferred the old abnormal to this new normal. But there is a line in Arya which says, trust is good, but control is better. And I think that one of the things that certainly Shoojit and Vikram are talking about is what's the control that you have over your own release. And with me, I'm going to change that line and I'm going to say, trust is good, but remote control is better. Because what has now happened is that you have given the power actually truly to the audience. You are no longer asking me as an audience, and all of us who are also makers and audiences, as you're not asking me to go somewhere, you are actually entering my home. And when you enter my home, you have earlier, it's almost like as if I have the power as a filmmaker, because I invited you in to my home, which was the theater. And guess what? You were a prisoner. You couldn't leave because you said, oh, now I've spent so much money. Now I have to go out for dinner with my friends. And now what happens is I have entered your home and you can throw me out anytime that you want. And I think therefore the power of the remote control is going to change the way that we as filmmakers are going to be, in a way, allowed into people's homes. The reason that I decided that Arya would be it was meant to be a film. I've now spent 9 years trying to make it. It's based on a Dutch show, and it didn't happen as a film. I'm happy it didn't happen as a film because it sort of collapsed a month before it was meant to get made, and we've all been through these struggles. I'm not just singling myself out in our world in climbing this mountain of cinema. Constantly there's frostbite and there is people pushing you off and there is landslides, and as you struggle keeping on doing this climb, Arya happened to come back to us, and thankfully with Disney Plus Hotstar and with Endemol Shine asking me that you had it as a movie, would you like to make it now as a 9-episode show? And it was the universe conspiring for that to happen. I'm happy we finished shooting. I did the post-production in lockdown completely. All 3 months of it was completely done in lockdown. The good thing is that I thought I would escape Friday Mafia, right? Because Neerja, it got the National Award. It was critically acclaimed. It was the best return of investment movie that year. And I thought, oh gosh, if I make my next movie, and what if that Friday Mafia turns around and tells me that, oh, he's just a one film guy and he's not going to actually be able to make another film. We've all suffered this, right? And the good thing about being on Disney Plus Hotstar or on any OTT platform is that I escaped. My career is not ruined by one day. I spent 9 years, 2 years, 3 years doing this, and then in one day I'm destroyed. And I think that that's one of the nice things about, I can continue my life as a filmmaker without that, though of course now I discover that it's not Friday Mafia, but it's season 2 Mafia.
But jokes apart, I mean, I can understand Fridays are very scary, talking from the movie business point of view. But tell me one thing, creative freedom, was that also one of the reasons why you actually decided to make Arya for the digital media?
Yes, actually, it's certainly what tends to happen is that there are, I'm constantly worried about putting out a value system. I think one of the things I received from Neerja is that it had a value system that was something that families could see. And I was, one of the great things that happened to me when we got the Filmfare and Suraj Barjatia ji came up and said, Ram, continue making family movies. And I thought that I didn't know him at all, and it really affected me, because I said that's this whole experience of it being a thali, which is what we in commercial cinema used to do. कि भाई आपको दूधी अच्छी लगती है तो कोई बात नहीं, हम आपको achar hai, papad hai, dal hai. I wanted to make a thali experience which allowed the viewer to, and what is nice about where we are right now is that there are certain things that I've been able to do here for the whole family. And parents are watching it with their children, children are watching it with their mothers and whatever, fathers. And I think that the thing that happened is that I was not limited by some of the constraints of even marketing as songs, which is a major thing that sort of comes and hits us, which is how you're going to market your film. Oh, you better have a song in Switzerland. Oh, you better have, and that's the only way to market all of these burdens were then off my shoulders. Though, of course, we did put in the songs and we did wanted songs, but it wasn't because I was told that is why you need to market your film. So for me, it's been a freedom, which doesn't mean that my next film is not going to be a theatrical film. I'm hoping that's what it's been written for. It's a big action adventure comedy. I do want it desperately to be out there in the theaters. I want people to buy samosa and popcorn, and I want to be there with them. All of us, I think, have agreed that uniqueness of what that experience is something that is so precious that we want that to also happen.
Right. Saugata, I mean, we've all heard about the subscriptions of the OTT platforms going, up there completely during the lockdown phase specifically. Tell me, what was it like for Sony Live, and generally, what was it for the digital medium as such during these 3 or 4 months?
So, we were actually pretty much like a war room for the last 3-4 months, because we were launching the new app. We were in the process of launching a new app. There were the technology partners working across geographies. So I hardly had sort of time to breathe in these 3-4 months of lockdown. But having said that, we did, like I said, we didn't plan for this. We had all plans of launching in June. I had joined early on in the year. We were working towards it, and then the kugli was thrown. And what happened is that we kept on hearing that the numbers are going up, which it did. Even our old app, the numbers kept on surging. And we launched the new app, I think, about 2-3 weeks ago, which was on the 18th of June. And I must say, it has been quite in the SVOD space. It has been a fair bit of success in terms of numbers of people who are coming and paying for subscriptions have gone up substantially.
Yes.
I am assuming that it would be true for the others. We have just launched 2 films and a show. The 2 films that we launched, a film called Kadak by Rajat and another one called Bhosle with Manoj in it, have had some really spectacular numbers. You know, I wouldn't have, I don't know whether it is a changing look at or a changing facet of the audience of consumption, but the numbers seem really, really good. I mean, we did plan for the show which would have done well, or we would have planned that it would have done well. It has done fair bit of numbers than we thought it would in the first week. But the films too, these are small films, interesting films. They've just really, really taken on the numbers that we also didn't sort of plan for. So which is a good thing, but I don't know whether it is just the pandemic or is it a certain kind of habit formation which is happening, right? I feel that when it happens for a fortnight or a month, it's
yes,
not a
I was
habit.
about to come to that actually, yes.
But when it happened over
is it
time,
going to be a habit or is it just a gap filler kind of a thing?
I feel that, I think it's becoming more of a habit now. I feel that the cord cutting is starting to happen, or probably it's already happened. A lot of people have found that device and their little, the power of the remote, and they have realized that, we could watch what we want at my own space in my own time. It would have happened, but I think this pandemic has expedited the process. And I would think that this is the future. But the fact of if I talk about films, I am of that old school that I truly believe nothing will give you the kind of experience that a big theater gives for some films. The big spectacles will have to be enjoyed with the popcorn and the samosa and the film and the family together. But
Yes.
there are a lot of other films which will possibly not look at that Friday window any longer. They do have partners here. They do have multiple people in the market today. There are just not one or two. There are 4 or 5 big platforms. And they're also looking for great content. And for us, let's not forget that all the production had stopped, right? The pandemic. We're sitting on a beast, and the beast needs to be fed. And that fodder comes from the films which are already there as well, because where would you get it from? So I think it has been sort of a bit of a leveling exercise. Right. But I'm a firm believer that there is the needle is sort of it has turned.
Right. Okay, Carter. A lot of filmmakers, aspiring as well as established filmmakers, are shifting towards the digital medium. Now, what genre, and Saugata, you could join in too on this question, is it that attracts maximum eyeballs?
Yes. If I could just say, we straddle both the theatrical side and the OTT side, the TV side. We released all the we built the Oscar-nominated short films into a big theatrical release in the United States.
Right.
One of the big challenges we've seen is the actual, in this, I think all of us would like to keep theaters alive and all this huge growth that we're seeing in OTT. And I think it's coming in lots of every genre. We're seeing it across genres, but especially more family fare. But I think in one of the outcomes of this pandemic is that people are experimenting with new genres. We've seen people are experimenting with shorts. We've seen a 45% growth in subscriptions just in 3 months. So it's in India. So it's been quite significant. But the problem, all the little theaters in America and in Europe that have supported the Oscar shorts every year are out of work. They're laying all their people off. I think there's going to be eventually a big concern. So we've developed a series in partnership with the theaters where we've done digital releases and then allowed the theaters to promote them to their audiences, and then half of the revenue, 50%, just like we're in a theater, goes back to those theaters, those independent theaters. We haven't done it with any of the chains, just the independent theaters who are, folks like me trying to keep their little business alive, not not big, huge folks. So we're actually having some real success with that. And probably the digital release that has been most successful so far has been a family animation. So it's an interesting time, and I think it's a really important time we do really have to pull together, and I think we have to make sure we don't leave the theaters out. You know, the reach, Shoojit's film, I find it really amazing that I watched his film at home in London 2 days after it was supposed to be in theaters. You know, it's great. It's fantastic. And but the theater experience, those beautiful pictures of those fabulous gates in Lucknow, you know, would be so much better if we were all just sitting in a theater looking at it. So it's tough.
Saugata, please continue with that.
Well, I mean, we're as the OTT industry in India, I can only speak for that. I think we're still scratching at the surface. You know, I mean, we are rather at a nascent age. We've just about a couple of years to go back. But of course, there are. If you're talking about genres, if I take from the learnings of the very recent past, I would say that you know, the thrillers have possibly done well. But I assume, I am a firm believer that that's because we haven't tried other forms or other genres as much. If we had, the statistics is too flawed. I think we need to have enough to build the statistics on this. As for our platform, we've been very clear that we do not want to over-index on one particular genre. We want to try out genres which possibly have been segregated as being non-OTT friendly, but I feel that's not the way of looking at it. We are doing some shows which are really interesting satires. We are looking at shows which are more comic. We're trying out some sitcoms. I think drama. I think Ram, you know, has just done a great show, which is crime drama, and it's a family drama. You know, it is crime at the heart of it, but then it's something that you can watch with.
Some of that credit goes to Shogoto because he was in Disney Plus Hotstar at that time.
but I feel that, you know, that's the way. We must sort of look at shows which break those genres. We need to sort of try out a little bit more. We need to be a little more adventurous. But I think everyone's doing that. I think it's like, you know, it's a learning game. We're all learning, but yeah.
Right. Okay. Tell me one thing, you know, how important are stars when you make a show for the digital medium? I mean, Carter, you can answer this as well, and Saugata, and even Shudhita. Ram, you just cast Sushmita Sen, yeah? Or for that matter, anyone. I mean, you have a lot of shows that are happening or have been announced in the recent time with stars, and not so famous stars as well. But how important are they?
Well, no, go ahead. Go ahead. No, Carter, go ahead.
Carter, go ahead.
Yeah.
Hey, Beauty first. You go first.
What is this? I shall. That makes you wiser. You go first.
No, you go ahead.
No, so, there is always, you know, having now been wanting to make shows for platforms now for the last 3 or 4 years, because obviously that's where we want to also be. What tends to happen is that hoarding pe kaun aayega?
Poster pe kaun aayega?
Poster pe kaun aayega? And I think that come what may, that yet is an attraction. That yet is a draw. Come what may, that is a draw. And even though we are in a bit of a library situation, you know, when I was a kid, we used to go to a library and, you know, hire a book. There were lending libraries, right? And we used to go there and hire the book for a month or hire the book for 2 weeks, and then you went and gave back the book. And when you looked at, therefore, the shelves, and this is exactly what is happening right now, when you're looking at that shelf, which is part of your OTT platform, which is your lending library in a way, what is going to attract you? And therefore, yes, when it's a show which you don't know who the actor is, and you're going through that list and in that library bookshelf, then obviously it's the kind of synopsis or whatever, or it's the word of mouth. But when you're an audience who knows the actor, you definitely do want to say, this person is in this show, I want to follow them. And I think one of the sad things perhaps that is happening is that the idea of the director versus the idea of what, because we are all people over here who follow directors also. We grew up watching Yash Chopra or Hrishikesh Mukherjee. We wanted to see their films. And I think more and more, unfortunately, the brand name and the brand equity of the director or the vision of the maker, and who are you following, not just the actor, and not just the story, but who are you following? And as film geeks, and so you too, being in the business and being a part of a film fan, apart from actors, we were following directors. And I think one of the losses that I think is happening is the loss of the director. And certainly the fan base of the director, which is that...
If I can just say, I think... Sorry, I was just going to say, I think I was going to say exactly the opposite in shorts. That it's more it's a director-led-ish medium, and we're seeing, we definitely stars always, a big star is always interesting, and people who are a fan of that star, look at them. But we're seeing more and more on we have an app that we launched with about 4,000 shorts that we're testing in the US. And we are seeing people build out huge director following playlist. A guy, one of your colleagues named Anurag Kashyap, makes lots of shorts. His films are really, really popular. Some of them are shocking, but people are following him as an individual rather than the star.
So I think one of the things that is that the credit, therefore, when you're looking at the credit, when you're looking at the beginning credits, you're looking at the end credits, you're looking at whose name, before you know it, it says skip. And I think those are things which means that, therefore, what you're following according to algorithm is not the maker, but you're following some algorithm which I yet haven't figured. And I yet don't know what that algorithm is. But certainly, I think there's going to be pushback about from the audience, which says, but I want to know. Because it can't just be pushback from the makers and the creators and the directors and filmmakers. It has to be pushback from the audience, which says, excuse me, we want to know who made this because we want to follow their work.
Yeah.
Taran, I mean, my point is little. I mean, I agree with Carter also and what Ram has said. But the point is, I am also a viewer. I cannot consider. Yes, I am a filmmaker, but apart from my films, I am a viewer myself. How do I watch a film? I watch a film not just by the straight star power. I follow a director, for example. So I'm also a viewer. So I'm saying there are many viewers like me.
Yes.
Who would want to go, okay, do I want to do a feature today? No, I would want to see a documentary today.
Yes.
No, I'm a huge fan following of documentaries.
Yes, so same here. I've been watching a lot of documentaries.
Yeah. True. Yeah. Why? True. Okay, I'll tell you a reason why. My upbringing has been documentaries. I have learned from documentaries. And for the last 20 years, I could not see many documentaries apart from festivals.
Yeah.
So now these platforms give me some of the best documentaries that the world has produced.
Absolutely.
Yeah, completely.
Yes. Completely agree on this.
Completely.
Right. So in terms of film, if you're asking for a star, how much is it important? I'll give you my examples. My films, I didn't depend on the stars. I depended on what my trailer is and what my film is. Because if I would have depended on my stars just to push my films have not done that well, in terms of, if I just give you in parameters of calculations of your box offices and versus the director and versus what the content is all about and what the film is talking about. So I strongly believe that the directors are now superstars than the stars, I would say, because a lot of following. I'm not talking about the business part. I'm not talking the business part at all. What people are consuming, yes, they're consuming. I don't make films to consume. I make films for myself. If people consume, fine. I'm okay. I'm happy with it. But first, it's my film and it's my vision. I don't cater what you like. I cater what I like.
Yes.
Yeah, I would like to add to it, Taran, basically, you know what, I think the whole thing, this whole, like, lot of filmmakers, we have so much of content, so much of thing where we cannot show in a film. 2 hours, 30 minutes or 2 hours, 15 minutes, we cannot show. And here you can push the envelope over here. In OTT platform, there's the best thing. Still now, there's no censor. And I think it is very essential for us as a filmmaker. There's so much of material which when we, like from last 4 months, like, I'm telling you, the kind of documentaries I've seen, the kind of shows is unbelievable. Like, completely, I've transported to a different world. So I feel as a filmmaker, we have a lot of things, you know, a lot of content, and we feel, yeah, 2 ghante mein dikha diya. And here we have to, so many times you have to chop certain scenes, or you have to moderate the scene in the level of the censors, you know, where in OTT platform, you have that liberty, you have this open platform where you can show what you want to show in the parameters, keeping obviously things which you want to suit the sensibility of people over here. So that is also necessary. So where you filmmaker film like Ram Saib said about Arya, where he has more opportunity to show, maybe it wouldn't be in the film, but on the series where you have to explore more, where you can show more stuff which he feel in a film he cannot show. So that is a great opportunity for the filmmakers. Definitely, we are storyteller ultimately end of the day. So I think that is very necessary. It reaches, and yeah, like again, I'm telling you, we watch the film, we see for the filmmaker also, not for the star also. We see star definitely is there for the common people, but as a film lover, film buff, we see कि यार ये director ने ये किया, ये director ने documentary बना, you want to follow, we want to see what he has made next. So that is also necessary, and I think it's a great time for filmmakers on the OTT platform.
But Vikram, one of the reasons why the new season of Breathe has gone bigger is you've cast Abhishek Bachchan for the series.
Absolutely, undoubtedly. The first season had Madhavan in it. The second season now, called Breathe Into the Shadows, it's a new story. It has Abhishek Bachchan in it. There's a reason for this, sir. The reason is, first, they are wonderful actors who fit the role. Mayank Sharma, my director, had Abhishek Bachchan, Nitya Menon as new additions to the show on the top of his priority list. So we approached them. Both of them haven't done anything in this medium prior to Breathe. Second, and I'll allude to something that Ram said, this is such a new medium to us that there are a lot of fence sitters in this huge country with so many screens and mobile phones, 500 million mobile phones, smartphones out there. People are just waiting for that reassurance that the money that they spend to subscribe to something or the time that they spend watching something is going to be worth it. They will get value for that. The first instance of that value is, do they like the content that's coming their way? If we make a show which nobody likes, but has Sushmita Sen in it or Madhavan in it, it doesn't make a difference beyond the first few streams. The second point is that there is reassurance and familiarity that I have seen Abhishek Bachchan for 20 years. There must be something which draws me to his films or a big mass to his films.
Right.
And I have that familiarity that which now, by virtue of being his fan, I come in and consume it on this medium. A show for us in development and announced last year is a show called The End.
Right.
See Akshay Kumar making his debut onto the streaming side of things.
Right.
For us, it's about expanding the base of our stories. If X number of people see Breathe and because of Abhishek, 2x watch it or 20x watch The End, We are just achieving our jobs as storytellers
Right.
and letting the fans decide and own the content.
Okay. Right. I
if
think
I-
we are. Sorry. Yeah. Please continue. Yes.
I was just going to
Final
say,
word. Yes.
a couple of years ago, we had a little film in Sundance called Whiplash. And I don't know if you've heard of it, but a young guy,
Yes,
young
Of course,
director
of
made it.
course.
It was fabulous, and he couldn't get funding for the feature, but it won Sundance and actually got made as a feature. But it was really that ability to experiment in a short film that kind of acted as a test run, if you would, for investors to see that actually there was an audience. He had taken an exact scene out of the film and cut it as a short and got it made. So I think it didn't have stars. There is, and without stars, there's way more risk in getting a film funded like that, especially young director, first time ever. But Damien Chazelle is now huge. He's had what is it, La La Land, and that one, and another one. So I think we're very excited about the place shorts is starting to find in the world in the ecosystem of filmmaking. But I think that there is a part of both building an audience and developing a director that shorts allows you a path in, and it also starts building an audience. Lots of Hotstar, I know, has done a lot of these kind of things where you have short shows and they become series. But those kind of test platforms or test mediums, we see as quite important to.
I think
to
I
develop
agree
both the
with.
audience and the director. Sorry.
I think I agree with Carter. I think the OTT platform, where stars are, it's good to have stars, but I think it gives you a chance to experiment with new talent as well. I'm launching a show tomorrow, which I think is a spectacular thriller, and it is full. It is full of young actors, young, very talented actors, and a young director at that. The chance of grooming them into stars is for us. I think there are more stars that we'll probably have from the platform than ever before. The chances of differentiated content, makers, I think the makers and the writers today have a really great few years for sure to tell those stories which they couldn't tell for some time. So I feel that while stars, it will be good to have them, but I think there are newer stars that will come up from these platforms.
Yes. Well, I think we're running short of time, but thank you so much for joining us for this very enlightening conversation that we had on OTT as well as movies and theaters. And the one thing that we all have, and I think we all agree to, is that the charm of the big screen can never fade, and OTT will coexist. So thank you once again for joining, and thank you, Vicky Frames, for this platform.
Thank you.
For airing our
Thank you. Thank you,
Thank you, everybody. Thank you, Tarun. It was a wonderful session.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Yes, we had a stellar panel. To the audiences, thank you. This is the end of the session. We'll be back after lunch at 3 o'clock. Thank you. Don't go anywhere. See you for the post-lunch.